Killer Klowns from Outer Space, the game. Watch the bloody new Gamescom 2023 trailer. So yeah, we got a little bit of gameplay teaser footage here. Got to see a little bit of it. Obviously, I think they are trying to piggyback off of the massive success over the last weekend and over this last week with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, which I have not gotten a chance to play yet, but I know we are lining some things up, changing some things behind the scenes here so that hopefully within the next few weeks, definitely at some point, if not before Splatterthon, during Splatterthon, Luke and I are going to sit down with maybe a couple of friends and do some live streams playing that for you guys. So, we want to get in there just as bad. But I think, that'll be a good testing ground for us because when this hits, I know we're going to have to hop on this probably the first night because Luke, if you don't know, if you're still new here, yeah, Luke's a massive Killer Klowns from Outer Space fan. This is his baby right here. This is one of his many twisted children.
Absolutely. And, looking at Killer Clowns, adding to that horror video game kind of transition where, we played some Friday the 13th. I definitely want to hop on that Texas Chainsaw Massacre train as well and take a look at that one. But, those for me, are kind of in a different compartment in a sense where it's like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a little darker, it's more so realistic, whereas like looking at Killer Clowns, I mean, just looking at the gameplay footage here, I love the aesthetic that they're bringing. It really feels like it's translating from film to video game, and it's very vibrant. They have the cotton candy cocoons, which just look amazing, and then just some of the wackiness that they've put through here with the lasers and everything, and some of the gore effects here. I think it looks very gory, and I love that they're not shying away from that. Because this does look like a ton of fun. It looks like you can hop on here with a bunch of friends, and whether you're clowns or the patrons trying to survive, I think either way you're going to have a lot of fun. Just sitting down for hours and just seeing what ride this takes you on.
Absolutely. And I like the approach that a lot of these asymmetrical horror games are going with, where it's no longer just a like 1v7 or a 1v5 kind of
Yeah.
thing. They're going more for groups because that's a big highlight that a lot of people have said about Texas Chainsaw that it seems like is being brought into this, is where it's a group of killers with a group of people. So, and I think that these games are still difficult to I guess get launched and get going. It's
Yeah.
always something that
There's always
I
going to be
think is,
bugs and
well, that, but it's also just from a content standpoint, you really have to have a game plan, just in mind of like how you're going to execute it and what you're going to do. And I mean, unfortunately for the Friday the 13th game, that kind of got kneecapped by the lawsuit and everything real early on. So it didn't get to continue with what they had planned. But I think that Texas Chainsaw has a good chance of standing up and keeping those wheels turning as long as, again, you're putting a lot of content out there. I mean, we saw a lot of success with, even the Evil Dead game last year was
yeah.
a bright spot for this stuff. And, I think there is a market for these kind of games. I just really hope that Killer Klowns keeps the momentum going and they bring something more unique to it. It looks very stylized, looks very fun, but yeah, the name of the game with asymmetrical horror games is content. Bring it, make it frequent, and keep people coming back.
Yeah, and I think Killer Clowns is a great launching point where, you have that base of things that you're familiar with the Killer Clowns actual film itself, and once you establish that kind of lore, you don't really have to stay true to anything. You can bring new elements in that we've never seen before and kind of act this as more so a launching point. So, if you ever wanted to get back to, I know there are rumors of creating another Killer Clown sequel, if you ever wanted to do that and add in new content, uniqueness to it, and kind of start making the video game your own rather than, Friday the 13th having to put, whatever installment, part 7, part 8, whatever in there, where it's like Killer Clowns is a great launching pad to just play, add new and different things, and kind of just make this video game its own thing. So that's really got me excited for what they're going to bring here. And I think, I think this is going to continue that, punch of the horror train being horror movies being turned into video games. I'm curious to see, down the line what else we're going to get next, because within so many horror properties can be translated so well into video games. And with horror video gaming with unique properties being such a booming business, I can only see a lot of different franchises or just horror films in general being translated into video games.